Welcome everyone. We're going to take a look at the order book and today's huge rally that we saw. This is around the last 10 minutes of trading. So I'm going to do some commentary, walk you through what you're seeing on the screen. And you're going to see this order book is very jerky. This area on the left here is basically showing you how many orders are at any price. It's also showing you the number of contracts that have traded at each price, and you get a feel for what kind of liquidity there is at any single price. So, and watching the machines, there's a number of things that we look for and watch. This is the last 10 minutes of trading of this huge market rally that we saw today. And what I want you to see here is that there was no liquidity. This wasn't driven by big numbers here, or lots of volume. In fact, the overall volume on the day was off by about 16%. So from Friday, which was a huge day, okay, in comparison. But it was definitely a lower volume day, and it was not a lot of numbers on the bidder ask. And that's the thing I want to point out by going through this video here. And what we're about to watch is actually a huge rally from around the 3068 where it's trading right now, you see on the screen, all the way up to 3092, which will push it up over 4% on the session. And this is an interesting rally because there's a number of aspects that I will point out a little later in the video. But this is about a 15-minute video. If you want to watch it all, that's fine. You can spin through it around 5 minutes to around 10 minutes. That section I go through and I'll show you where the machines are coming in and what's going on. But you're going to see exactly the type of activity that drives this market. Now I'm going to zoom in on the order book so we can just watch the order book, and we're going to go back to full speed. Right now we are showing trading at 1/10 of the normal speed. And this is how a normal trading day kind of looks. It's just kind of back and forth, very methodical. And this is as typical as it looks. But you're going to see there's air pockets, and especially once we get over this 3070 number, you're going to see a serious run. And the point of this video is actually just to educate so you can see what actually happens in these type of rallies and this was being driven by the Algos. All of these people are driving this market today, and there was an absolute frenzy, and nobody can trade as fast as what you saw today and what you're about to see. These are all machines, and that's the way this thing goes. Nobody's pushing on a mouse, buy this, buy that. That's not what's driving this thing. So we're about to go through the 70 level here, and you'll start to see this go. Here we go. We're trading the highs right now. Here's the new highs. And remember, this is trading at 1/10 of the speed. And you'll see things happen here where the order book will start. The last trade is where the yellow block is, okay? And you'll see these things jump around, but all of a sudden you'll see the numbers above clear out and go dark black. They'll go from gray. That means the market's actually traded there. Over on the right, where you see this is the time in sales, you'll see out of sequence trades. You'll see stuff up over the bid, under the ask. You'll see those kind of, that type of information that happens. Algorithms are pushing the order book, and they're actually blowing up the order book on both sides. And so right now you can see at 71 even, there's 98 contracts. We're at the high, and it's going to go for a little bit of a run, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. Here's 71. You'll start to see these things start to blow up. We're in full screen so we can see. Now this is running full speed now. So now you can see exactly what's going on with this stuff. You can see how fast it's trading. Everything's moving very quick. It's at 74, so we started this at 68. Now we're at 74, and you're going to see some pretty crazy action coming up here as this thing just literally blows up, I think, to 81, 82 when it really takes off here. And you're going to see on the left-hand side, I'll highlight this area. There's the time in sales, and you'll see the above the ask trade that just came through there. These are where you see the machines coming in. Now we're 75.25 on last trade, and I'll highlight another area when we see some of these other out of sequence trades come in, but it's right on the edge of where this thing is really going to start to go vertical. So just about another 30 seconds, we'll see another block of big trades come through, and I'll highlight them so you can see them. Here, we're about there right now, so you can see there it is right there. You can see below the bid trades, and then there's one little above the ask. But look what, you'll watch what happens to the trades now. We're at the highs of the session offered. There's only 40 contracts there. The other thing I want you to see is we just made new highs, and there's only one contract traded at the new high. Now there's 3. You can see the very last number on the side here is there's only 3 contracts traded at the high, and this thing just completely blows up here. And you'll see another sequence here where what I want you to see is that there's more above the ask. So you're starting to run this up. So right as it went through that 75.50, you saw more above the ask trades or out of sequence trades, and these are being done by the algorithms. Now we go back to real time, and you can see this thing really start to take off here. And one of the other characteristics that you just see, we make a new high, we trade it up to 76, then it'll trade, oh, there it goes, see, just to run all the way to 77, it'll drop about 300 points, and then it goes back. Now you can see this thing, here's the run I was talking about. Here we are at 80, 81, almost 82 on that run. So we went from 77, here's 82, it just goes vertical here. And you can see on the chart on the right-hand side that this is a 1-minute graph. And now we're 84, 85. So this is the huge run. This was just, I think it was about 6 minutes to go to the close. And once again, you see, here we go. We traded all the way down from 86 down to 83, 80, 82 here. And now it's just going to make another run and just blow out the highs again. And there's not a lot of contracts. You'll see some of these red blocks coming through. All this stuff. Here we're trading all the way down to 78. It feels like, oh, maybe that was it. Here come the machines again, and they'll just run at this thing and just take it right up to new highs. Now, once you look over, I highlighted on the right-hand side, all the liquidity meters, and you can see what's going on. There's just very small numbers. There's no liquidity, and all the bars are changing very dynamically in this window, because what's happening is all these bid and offers are being lifted, and this also another sign that there's machines running, because they're changing so dramatically. And even with everybody in the world, if we were clicking on the mouse, we wouldn't be able to see that. So we'll go back to the screen, and now you're going to see this thing just run right through the highs again. We traded all the way down to, I think, 74 during that period of time, and then it's just going to make another run. And this was all machine driven. Once again, you'll see how it just cranks up, and here we go. We're going to make the run at the highs again, and it's going to happen very quickly. And when it does, we're going to go from the high 86, we're going to run up to 92. I think this was, like I said, we're probably 2 minutes out from the close. Here we went back to 77, and then you'll see this big run coming. It's like the order book actually hesitated for a minute, and then it just takes off. And I don't know if it was my platform just trying to keep up with all the trades are coming through or not, but you'll see this thing is going to take off. Here we are at 75, and it's just going to go vertical again. So we had about 3 minutes of bars that it drifted lower, and the next phase, well, I believe it goes to the high of the session. And I'll probably cut this video off here, but the goal of this video was just to talk to you about what's going on with the markets, and that what you saw today probably isn't very substantive. There's not a lot of substance behind it because it was all machine driven. And so that means that these rallies that we're watching are pretty vulnerable to some selling once we hit a certain price. And I'm going to do another video talking a little more about the action and what to expect over the next couple of days. And I thought we'd see a lot of volatility today. This I couldn't even imagine what we were about to see, because overnight these futures came in about 45, 50 handles lower, and then they rally over 140 handles higher. So almost 200 S&P points in one session. And it was trading like what you see here. So I think we're really close to the close of the session now. We're probably a minute out. So I may have the timing wrong on this, but this is where you'll see it make one more final run into the highs of the session here. And if you look at the chart on the right, you'll see the 1 minute graph. You're going to see this thing just flow through here pretty quick. So we are right now about 200 points off the highs, and when it goes, it's going to go quickly. And this is real time what it's running. Now the number's a little bigger. You notice we're into 110. There's quite a bit of stuff in the book, and this is because of the close. Usually at the close of the market, these will be thousands, maybe 1,200, 1,500 on every bid and ask. Like I said, you can add a zero to these numbers, and you'll be pretty close to what's going on here. So this is probably getting close to the final minute, and there was a frenzy. So we're going to punch them out here. Here we go. So it's the same pattern. We print a new high, we back off 300 points, and then it punches through again. You'll see, here we go. We're only 50 is just going to go right through. This is the same pattern. Even when we were going down last week, it was the same pattern. We punch out new lows, here goes new highs again. Punch out new lows, and then they bounce 300-400 points, and they go for the lows again. So you can see here, this is the run. This is like the final minute of trading. You can see this thing just, here we have traded all the way up to 90, all the way back down to 86. And there's going to be, I believe there's one more run before this thing ends. Point is, we saw a lower volume today. We saw everything that was probably indicative of complete short covering. And the folks that are doing this buying aren't looking for, they're not investors. They're not investing for the long term. They're investing for the next 3 minutes. And that's about it. I think this is where we make one more new high. I'll stay with the video just for a second, but you get the point of what I've done here. Anyway, thanks for watching.